Welcome back to Yo's Recipe Box. Today I'm gonna make a pecan pie. This is one of my favorite desserts, especially in the fall season. I actually made 2 of these pies and stuck them in my pecan pie caramel ganache candy apple mega cake. I think that's what we called it. Orhan, show them the footage. It was a delicious cake. To begin making my pie crust, I'm going to place my room temperature butter and sugar into my mixing bowl. And I'm going to place this on my stand mixer with a paddle attachment. We're going to mix these 2 ingredients together for about 3 to 4 minutes at a medium-high speed until they're nice and creamy. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I have lots of easy recipes like this one. There's a link in the description below. And don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Now I'm going to turn my mixer back on to low or stir speed, and I'm going to add my flour and my 2 egg yolks. Once your dough has come together, you can take off your mixer, scrape all of the dough off of your paddle. And now I'm going to bring it over to my butcher block and get ready to place it in my tart pan. I'm baking my pecan pie in a 9-inch fluted deep dish tart pan. It has a removable bottom. This makes it really easy to remove your pie once it's baked, but also easy to place your dough inside the pan. I will put a link in the description below of the exact pan that I'm using. I'm gonna start by lining the bottom of the pan. I like to just place a little nonstick mat underneath. What I'm gonna do is take some of my dough and just press it out onto the bottom of the tart pan. I'd say this is about half of the dough at this point. And then I like to roll the rest of the way. This is a soft dough, so I just have a little bit of flour on the side, just a light sprinkling. Now take your rolling pin and roll your dough out evenly over the bottom of the tart pan. I want it to be 1/4 inch thick for this deep dish pan. Now I'm gonna pick this up in my hand, and I'm just gonna trim away the excess dough flush to the tart bottom with a knife. There we go. Now we can place this back into the pan. Now I'm gonna take the rest of my dough, I'm gonna divide it in 2, and I'm gonna just roll it into like a thick tube. Don't forget to check out howtocakeit.com because there's other great recipes for the fall season, like my caramel and my ganache, which would both go great on top of this pecan pie. And you can also pick up this very cozy sweatshirt. Now just pick up your tube of pie dough and place it around half the circumference of your tart pan, and then repeat with the rest of your dough. Now we can start to work these tubes of dough up the sides of the tart pan. If your hands are sticky, just take a little flour, rub it on your fingertips. What I like to do is use all 4 of my fingertips from both hands and press this dough along the sides. Now you want to take your fingertip and really work the dough into the corner, joining the pie dough that's at the bottom and up the sides. Now I like to use my thumb and finish pressing the dough along the side, just evening it all out. You do want it to come up above the tart pan just a bit so that we can trim it. Now I'm gonna take my knife once again and trim this excess dough from the top of my tart. Now when I made this pecan pie for my pecan pie caramel ganache caramel apple mega cake, I used this extra bit of dough to make 2 little tarts. I just rolled my extra dough into a ball and flattened it between my fingers and thumbs. And then I just place it into these little tart shells, press it in all the way around. You can just use the base of your thumb and sort of wipe away the excess. I will link these little tart shells up in the description as well. You will want to chill this tart shell. I like to chill it for at least a couple of hours, but it's a great thing to do the day before. Hold on, little pies, just wait here. Most of my recipes are still written out by hand in notebooks. You can get them at howtocakeit.com. You can also get this notebook there. And this candy apple pen. To begin making the pecan pie batter, first I'm gonna crack 4 eggs into a bowl. Now I'm gonna add my brown sugar to my eggs. I'm gonna begin to stir this mixture with a whisk. Do you notice how I'm mixing with no hands? Look at this. We need a stabilizer dance.
This is it.
I feel like it should be a disco. Stabilizer. Let me doodle. Oh, I'm not left-handed, but look at this artwork. Now that my eggs and brown sugar are mixed, I'm going to pour in my corn syrup, and we can stir in the vanilla as well. But seriously guys, I'm obsessed with these stabilizers. They're great for using in a kitchen, especially with glass bowls, with kids, hot stuff. Finally, I like to stir in my melted butter. Okay, we can assemble our pie. Now I'm gonna put a nice hearty layer of pecans on the bottom of my tart pan. This is a deep dish pie, so you want a lot of pecans. You don't want one measly layer of pecans and then all batter, right? And in these little tarts, you could put either chopped pecans or just place one really nicely. Another thing I love to do with pecan pies is make variations. So I love to throw in like a handful of dried cranberries or a handful of raisins or a handful of chocolate chips to make it even richer. Just throw them in amongst the pecans. Yes. Now it's time to pour our pecan pie batter right over these pecans. Now you can just make sure that all of the pecans are coated in the pecan pie batter. You don't want to leave one dry and exposed because it might burn on the top. It's pecan pie, y'all! I highly recommend that you place your pecan pie or your little tarts onto a baking tray to bake them, especially if your tart pan has a removable bottom, because it will be piping hot when you take it out of the oven, and if you accidentally press up on the bottom, you'll wreck your pie and seriously burn yourself. This is just a lot safer. You'll want to bake this pecan pie at 350 degrees for about an hour and 10 minutes. It will still appear liquidy, but it rises at the top and it doesn't jiggle oh so much. And most importantly, when your pies are baked, let them cool completely to room temperature and then set them overnight in your fridge. Thank you for watching Yo's Recipe Box. Don't forget to subscribe and try this pecan pie. You owe it to yourself.